Right before we die, it's a bonus episode night. You know how we know it's a bonus episode, Mel?
Could you wait till I've got my
Where's
glasses?
your glasses?
Good Lord,
Did you
man.
not even hear the places, everybody? Prima donna, right here. How much work did you do on set before we got going today?
Put 3 bags up. 3 bags full.
Oh, you blocked out some
actually
sunlight.
4.
Oh, so can we go with not much?
Not much.
Yeah. Can we go with again?
Every time.
Every time, Mal will not be contributing to set.
I'm an artist.
It's going to be reflected in when I hand out shares of the program. That's going to be reflected.
Okay.
Right. So it's a bonus episode, and we know it's a bonus episode because there are, today, bottles of whiskey in front of us. Now, Mal, briefly, what separates these bottles? What makes it a little different today?
The size. You know I'm never going to give you a straight answer.
You can't. So what kind of whiskey do we have in front of us?
And if you want me to be really specific, because I can be, because this is probably one of my wife's favorite drinks. This is rye.
I'd like you to start with the country.
Canadian.
We mostly focus on Scotch whiskey, in fact, exclusively. There is talk of American bourbons, and we have some Danish, and we have some Austrian whiskeys in the bar, so there will be some world whiskeys. But this is really going to be our first world whiskey release. And so this is Crown Royal. We did do an episode, but it's lost.
Yeah. It is.
It's lost.
I heard that in the room with
Yeah,
Neil back.
it's a lost episode. There are lost episodes, so when it's all over and Mal's gone and underground and I'm smoking his cigars, right? We'll release
Break
those.
out the lost episodes.
And but no, I imagine without a doubt this episode is going to be released. So we have some Crown Royal, and you think it's a rye whiskey?
It is a rye.
We're
Canadian.
confident.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. So on set today, of course, we have our friend Rick. Rick, thanks for coming to the show.
Thanks for the invite.
Absolutely. We're going to talk to you in a second a little bit more. And we've got our my old college roommate, our pal Andy Suits. Yeah. Now, Andy, I was thinking about when we lived together, and with the melon.
I think it was Prospect Street.
It might have been Prospect Street. Probate's right there, too. But here's my point. Do you ever remember me and my relationship with his microwave?
You probably didn't use it.
I did not use it. To this day, I don't own a microwave and don't know how to use them. When he moved in...
That's a lie, by the way.
When he moved in, he brought a microwave, and I want nothing to do with a microwave. So he put it in the kitchen, and I took it and put it in the basement. And every day he'd come home.
The basement,
Same floor.
The kitchen was in the basement.
It was the same floor. But I would take it from the counter and put it in the back room.
Like by the furnace or something.
Right. And then he would be, there was this one interchange, and I'd be like, dude, no microwaves. He'd be like, there's going to be a microwave. And
Oh, yeah. Remember the fryer later? That's another story.
so every day he would put the microwave back in the kitchen, and I would put it back in the furnace room. And we lived together with him for 9 months. Yeah. And that happened constantly.
That fryer later,
Yep.
he put lard in it. And at one point, I remember you opened it up and you're like, it was obviously rancid. And you're like, you got to clean this, you know. He's like, you don't have to clean it. When you turn it on, it boils all the germs.
I remember that. Oh, man. What a melon.
That was awesome.
I totally liked the guy, got along with him fine, and you know, sometimes affection is when you call people names.
But you call me a lot, so you must like me.
True story. So we've got some Crown Royal. Actually, for the first time that I can think of, we have 2 bottles of whiskey in front of us. Now, there's something actually sort of unique and special happening tonight on our bonus episode. We have a bottle of Crown Royal that you can buy in the store today. And in fact, you can see we've actually cracked this bottle, probably for your wife who's Canadian, and this is her drink. So we've got some Crown Royal, some modern Crown Royal. But Rick, you've actually brought this jug
And
it's a jug.
of Canadian whiskey. I mean, it is carved glass. What makes this special?
So I was gifted the bottle. A friend of mine has stopped drinking for multiple reasons, and he came to my house after not seeing him for had to be 10 years, and he just showed up. And one of the things that he was getting rid of was his bar, and he offered me 2 bins of bottles of booze, and this was one of them. And as I started to inspect it, I looked at it, and it's got a 1955 tax stamp on it, and it's uncracked. And so I thought, who better to crack that than you?
Well, so first, it was you put it up in the Facebook group. You made the offer, very generous, and we accepted. And of course, we haven't seen you in 2.5 decades, and so it's been great to reconnect with you. But a tax stamp is actually this paper going over the top with serial numbers and probably all kinds of secret codes from the government. And I mean, I can see right here 1955, and at some point in the episode, we'll actually show you the bottle, and you'll see that too. But this is a bottle of whiskey from 1955 in Canada. And you and I did some research about the tax stamps and what that means in relation, in terms of Canadian law, which is different than Scottish law. What that means in terms of what the age of the distillate is in this bottle. And so I'm going to see if I have this correct, and I get to be wrong. So if a tax stamp is 1955, that's when this liquor was distilled. And you would have, somebody would have purchased this bottle in 1965. So Canadian law says 10 years after the tax stamp. Do I have that right?
Pretty close. So the 10 years is indicating the youngest of the blended whiskeys that went into it.
Okay.
So there may be whiskeys that are older than 10 years that went into it, but the 10-year mark is where the youngest whiskey was distilled.
Which is consistent with Scottish law, which is if you're going to put an age statement on a bottle of Scotch whiskey, the age statement must reflect the youngest whiskey in the bottle. Right.
Yeah.
So that's... Now,
So you're telling me that this was bottled in 1955?
this was the youngest liquid in this bottle was distilled in 1955.
Correct.
Okay.
It was bottled in 1965 for
After
sale.
aging for the 10 years.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
Wow.
The way we understand our
Correct.
research.
Now, I never really thought ryes in general, but I never really thought they were aged that much. So this is going to be really interesting.
So back in the day, there wasn't really that thing happening, right? You'll start to see age statements on artisanal ryes and bourbons these days. I mean, the single malt market took off, I think, after... somewhere around here, there's I think it's 1969 or 63, the Glenfiddich, right? Most whiskeys were blended, but there are laws around how you state their age. But in this case, it really wasn't about bragging about age. It was about when can the government get their cut. So
Gotcha.
This is a tax stamp.
Yes.
Right. So this is paying the man. Right. So we've agreed amongst ourselves, gentlemen, that given that we have a bottle of Canadian Crown Royal from 1955, sold in 1965, and we have a more modern Crown Royal, we've agreed to have a small taste of the modern.
Oh, a taste off.
That's good, Mal. You should be like you could have like a bake-off. You could be like what is that?
Great
British
British
baking show? This could be the Great Whiskey Tasting Show.
Oh, it is a taste off.
It is a taste-off. So, if you promise not to give Andy Suits like a lethal amount of Crown Royal, I will do the same for...
It's like a blind spot, dude. As soon as I get to that right-hand side, all right, I'm in all sorts of trouble.
So, the newer Crown goes
in the newer glass?
In the newer... Oh! You're so clever. Or lucky.
I'm going to get fired.
So, just a little taste.
Oh, God.
Here you go.
You know you could do it. Here.
All right. Make sure you bang them next to the microphone.
Yeah, I am. We're going to test out that sound quickly.
And so here's the thing. Obviously, we have screw tops, not a hallmark of quality, just different. Rick? Andy, you've got yours? Yep. So this is so it is 2022. So this is probably a 2019 Crown Royal pre-pandemic. from one of the last big New Year's Eve parties here.
Pre-pandemic.
Pre-pandemic.
Is
That's
that where we're
right.
at now?
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic?
Yeah. I wish you'd wear a mask over your whole face all the time, and just a little straw hole.
And can I call myself Batman then?
No, but what was that guy who ate people? You could be like Cannibal Lecter. No.
Just drink yours.
You know, there was that water between England and France called Channel. You could be Channibal. So this is a pre-pandemic, but late 21st century. Is that how that works?
Modern.
This is a modern Crown Royal.
Modern Crown Royal. Yep, Crown Royal.
It's definitely Crown Royal.
It is. It is Crown Royal.
I have no
It is.
tasting notes. It's Crown Royal.
It's smooth.
Yes.
It's smooth. It goes down easy.
Little warmth at the back.
Yeah. Rick, anything you want to note?
It's a nice whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm pleased with it.
Yeah.
Now, would you mix this?
No.
You'd always drink this straight.
Yeah.
Andy, what do you think about this modern pre-pandemic Crown Royal?
Love them purple bags.
I bet you carried a lot of change around and everything.
You can put the change in there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a laundry.
So Mal, you're feeling like a rye whiskey. Because I feel like I taste it.
No, it's a rye whiskey.
Yeah.
I feel like I
that's
taste it. 100%. I can taste that rye. Yes.
Most Canadian whiskeys, I think, are rye.
They have the rye fields, right?
No, I just think they're rye.
We have the amber
and
waves of grain.
I believe that it's a 51% or more rye mash content for Canadian whiskeys.
Yep. Right. And I don't know a lot about
which
Canadian whiskey.
differentiates it from the American bourbons, which is the 51% corn.
Corn, correct. Right. And of course, then you get over into the Scots, we're talking barley. Yep.
The king.
Yeah.
Yes.
The king. All right, so we've tried a pre-pandemic modern Crown Royal. We've identified the rye. We've declared it to be smooth with a little bit of burn. But in some ways, and not as a criticism, but unremarkable.
Unremarkable, but probably it's always going to be the same.
Yes.
You're
Predictable.
always predictable.
Yep.
Straightforward.
So we've talked about, and we're gonna crack this tax stamp, but we've talked about, it should just sort of be the same. But one of the things we noted offset was off camera was that this is distilled in the age of before computers. So the still master, is the one determining when to shut things off or transfer the mash or cool it or this probably had bells in the warehouse. Ding, time to move. Ding, time to move. Ting, China, shut
A
down.
more organic.
This
process.
is some man probably in loose-fitting jeans and a flannel shirt with suspenders making the call. Is it one of your relatives?
Let me guess it. And in his day job, he wore like a red jersey and a white hat and rode around on the moose. Are we going to tell everybody?
He wore a hat like Andy Suits has on, but it was flipped around and it was checkered.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. And he might have even had a pipe with a little curve in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, I think that's probably one of the main points that we'll be talking about differences. This is handcrafted. This is going to be a handmade whiskey. And this has a little more modern element, absolute predictability. Yep. So that unremarkable, I think you're right to sort of lean towards predictable, not unremarkable.
Yep.
So super excited to break this tax seal.
I'm super excited to see if you can pick up that ball.
And thanks to your friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
All right.
Appreciate this.
So we're just going to move this one over to the side. And it's a 1955, purchased in 65. We assume it's going to be the same twist off. We're just going to try a twist. Chubby checker? Can you give us a little? Yeah.
One of my favorites, my mother's favorite tunes.
Here we go. We just broke the tax seal. It's even got a pouring spout.
What is this rubbish?
This is meant for
plastic packing before the pandemic.
probably
days?
hand carved plastic.
Hand carved.
It's artisanal plastic.
That surprises me a little to see that.
That really does
plastic
surprise me.
This, remember though, 65 for sale.
Correct.
And so meant to be on a bar
Oh,
pouring drinks.
okay. Yeah,
Yep.
all right.
Yep.
Doesn't say like 1995. No, all right. Okay.
No,
It's
1955.
It's 55.
It is
You know
like
what?
this. What do we got?
I'm going to do this because
Yeah, bring it over.
there is no way I'm going to embarrass
I hope
myself.
there's
in
like
front of
nothing
all-
in here blocking it up. I mean, we got some liquor in here.
Oh, love that sound.
That's a fun little sound.
Microphone to get that one.
Yeah, if you weren't talking, we'd hear it.
Oh. You had to spill.
I
You had
did.
to spill,
I
didn't you?
did it for you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The 1955 Crown Royal, handmade, handcrafted, no computer, with a plastic pourer. Whiskey. Look at that, lined right back up.
Yeah, that's what we usually happen.
This is a joke, you guys. All right, here we
It's
go.
swelling.
All right. So let's treat this like a whiskey. Let's just, Andy, would you talk a little bit about the color?
Well, you know I'm a little bit colorblind.
I did not know that.
Well, now you do.
How does that make
Thanks
you
for
feel?
sharing.
But it's an off gray.
That's the glass. That's the glass you're looking at. It's an off gray. I feel like. Are we gonna go with Rick? Are we gonna go with a light amber?
Yeah, I would say a light amber would be a good call on that.
I feel like the legs are medium.
A natural color. I'd call it.
It's a whiskey colored.
It's whiskey colored.
Let me just. How does this match up?
Actually, I wouldn't be surprised that these guys. I wouldn't be surprised that these guys do freaking use that caramel, essence of caramel, whatever you call them that these days.
Well, before we move forward, I just want to look at again, genuine, sincere, not a lot of prep work done. So this is the House of Seagram is proud to present Crown Royal, a regal blend of treasured whiskies of ancient lineage, born of skill and mellowed by the passage of time. The identical, superb whiskey long cherished by Canadians and visitors to Canada, each imparting a rare characteristic to enrich this royal offering. All the resources of the great House of Seagram have been employed by its master blenders to create this superb whiskey of priceless perfection, bottled in Canada. 80 proof. You know, this is a half gallon Crown Royal. You're in for a long night, buddy.
You are in for a long night.
Okay. All right. Let's check it out.
Okay.
We've had a predictable, pre-pandemic, modern Crown Royal. Here we have a handcrafted 1955 Crown
I
Royal.
will say the color's nearly identical.
I don't know if it's just the tasting glass, but there's definite aroma difference.
These glasses are meant
Yes.
to contain the
Yeah.
aroma,
Okay.
let it
So-
expand and then push it right back up.
I think that's smoother.
Andy's already ahead of us. Very good.
Yeah, he ain't kidding.
You know
Wow.
that is a little smoother.
That is totally
is-
smoother.
That is different animal.
And it's not just the Crown Royal talking.
And it's got a little bit more on the backside. There's a little bit more flame. Just a little bit more.
It feels more genuine.
Like a whiskey. A man's whiskey. A Canadian man's whiskey.
A northern man's whiskey.
Flannel and suspenders. Like your people.
Your wife would be very proud of
Yeah.
this episode.
Wow.
But yeah, it's smoother.
The mouthfeel is a little different too.
The after, is no whiskey in the mouth. There's this little,
Coating.
yeah. Wow. I can taste the difference.
It is
No,
different.
it is different.
It is different.
Nice.
I would hazard to even say it's better.
Is it better?
I'm gonna say yes. It comes from my era.
Yes. This was sold 4 years before I was born, but you're suggesting this was sold after you were on the planet.
I was on the planet, and they may have used a bottle from that batch in my teething.
This
Ooh.
may be the
This may be the.
This may be it.
yeah. This
This
may
is where
be
it
it.
comes from.
This may be it. Suits you. It's better. You appreciate it more than the pre-pandemic modern.
Kind of do. It's unique. And it's a giant amount.
So, you know, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles may have cabinets. Your friends may have stopped drinking. They may have things in the dusty back corner. You know, we can see this is, you know, legit, an old bottle. Don't discount just because it's the same name, just because it's the same blend. Don't discount the passage of time contributing to a difference in experience. Rick, I just want to thank you for reaching out to us and offering to do this with
Much
us on the show. It is a fantastic opportunity. I just thought, tap your glass.
Good seeing you again, mate.
Excellent. So, Mal, for you, our end of the episode toast is actually, as you dress regularly, British informal.
Yes!
And not, here's to you, you slag. But actually, our toast tonight actually has its history in the Bible. And it talks to a time when the main character in that book, what was his name? So my son one time said in a situation, he goes, "Who's Jesus?" I hear a lot about Jesus. And I don't know. And then he showed me, and I go, "Oh, that's Jesus." So there's a passage in the Bible where Jesus, no, it's a true story.
Yeah.
Jesus cures a man's blindness by putting some wet dirt in his eye.
Really?
Right. And so this is the origin of the British informal toast, which is, gentlemen, here's mud in your eye. Absolutely different than the
So much better.
Pre-pandemic.
You know, if I was to be able to drink that all the time,
You would drink it all the time.
that'd be fine.
Yeah, well, there's like a half a gallon right there, Suits. Right, but no, it's stunning, and I think, Rick, this is what we were trying to experience, which was, you know, is there a difference in the expectation?
And it is darker.
Yeah. Yeah.